15 convincing NASA photos of UFOs. The hovering orb. This relatively distinct-looking object was filmed by ISS while in orbit around Earth. Below the object, we see layers of clouds and fractured images of the oceans on Earth. The object is a bit blurry, but we can see it appears to be some sort of orb-shaped object, which seems almost to be composed of a rock-like substance or metal. We might wonder if it's a meteor, but generally meteors are probably not this spherical in shape. Generally, they are also traveling at a high speed as they pass into Earth's atmosphere. At the same time, while the object appears to have sort of rough edges to it like a rock, it seems to be so round that it indicates some sort of intelligent engineering. 14. The Black Knight. It's been suspected that this now famous photograph of a malevolent-looking object that was filmed by NASA is just thermal blankets from an EVA mission, but many UFO conspiracists conjecture that it might be some sort of alien satellite around Earth. The term Black Knight predates the capturing of these images, however, and is a whole legend unto itself among UFO believers. According to the legend, Nikola Tesla, during one of his 1899 experiments on radio waves, and another experiment in 1928, detected some mysterious signals emanating from some sort of source. In 1973, Scottish author Duncan Lunan studied the phenomenon and came to the conclusion that they possibly came from an old extraterrestrial satellite around the Earth. Some UFO believers contend this picture might be a photograph of that satellite. 13. An alien spy probe. This photo was allegedly obtained through a leak inside NASA. Interestingly, this picture of an orb-like object is clearer in its representation and appears to be very distinctly metallic, as we can see the reflection of the sun or moon off its upper right corner. However, since this is apparently a leak, we're not clear whether the orb is some sort of camera or other device normally used during a space mission. At least, it seems to be some distance from the space shuttle, and there appears to be no tether or line attached, connecting it to the shuttle mechanically. It also doesn't appear to be a typical sort of device that NASA or a space mission might use. In fact, its quality and character feels closer to many UFO pictures taken on Earth. Still, the jury is out on this one. NASA has stated allegedly that they are not at liberty to talk about what the object was or may have been. 12. A black kite. Some UFO adherents online believe this shot, allegedly taken from ISS live feed in Russia, is another image of the legendary Black Knight. If you watch the video, you can see the object, which almost looks like a kite flying through the air, rotates in space below the Russian Soyuz spacecraft as it moves in a trajectory beyond Earth's atmosphere. The angle we see it looks similar to the Black Knight photo we saw before but not entirely, so it may be a different object altogether. We might wonder whether the kite-like object is some sort of debris or space junk, but it also may be some sort of ship like a SR-71. It's difficult to tell without a closer look. 11. ISS feed cut. This was from the now famous, or infamous, ISS feed cut. As you can see, it appears to be a donut-shaped object of some sort, or it could be an orb of some kind with a black hole in the center. Another possibility is that it could be a ghost-like gaseous formation out in deep space. But either way, it's a very odd formation, even for a cloud or gas, which perhaps prompted the camera person for ISS to shut the feed down abruptly. The feed was going for some time, and luckily some avid UFO observers were taping the whole incident and caught the event before it got cut. NASA has formally denied that the appearance of the object or formation was the rationale for ending the video stream. 10. The perfect sphere. A commonly used NASA archive photo on many UFO magazines and blogs, This lucid photo of a supposed UFO outside of one of NASA's space shuttles is one of the better photos for the UFO case. Some might speculate that this pod-like metallic sphere is some sort of device or pod as part of the space mission, but the fact remains that it has no exhaust or engine to speak of that we can see. The sphere is very similar in appearance to other sphere-like UFOs that many people have filmed in the skies across the globe, particularly in South America, where some news stations have filmed dozens of these objects circulating about in the skies above cities. 9. The suspended crop circle. Taken by a French astronaut by the name of Jean-Pierre Haynier, this photo shows a glimmering disk off in the distance over Earth. It almost looks like a crop circle or an upside-down CD or DVD from this angle of vision, but it's unclear whether what we are seeing is a metallic ship of some sort or a type of luminescence. At least from what we can see, the object is hovering pretty close to Earth's atmosphere, since the clouds below it appear very close as a frame of reference. Unlike the previous cases, this photo is from a personal camera that was used by Haynier while he was on board the International Space Station for 6 months. While on board the station, he took hundreds of camera shots and camcorder videos of deep space. 8. Star Wars CGI look-alike. By some accounts, this object looks similar to some CGI ships we saw in the original Star Wars movies, but it remains to be seen whether this is a piece of debris or space junk or an alien craft. It's a possibility it might be a quality piece of CGI. The wavy blue light in the background evokes a cinematic quality. Really, we might wonder whether this image is too sharp and perfect to really be a true and genuine UFO sight, but it's also a possibility that the camera was steady enough to catch this object perfectly without a blurring effect. Some UFO websites report this photo came from NASA's archives, but there's also some hoaxes online as well, so one must be cautious in reaching an opinion. Many UFO buffs neg perfect photos like this one because they look too contrived. 7. The Pentagonal UFO. This photo was allegedly a leak out of NASA and was not an official photo release from NASA's archive. It appears to be an image of Juno, an asteroid, supposedly from the so-called Juno probe that has been scouting out this region of space this past year. In July, this photo and accompanying video went viral, accumulating hundreds of thousands of online hits, but questions remain whether the pentagonal object pictured here is some sort of CGI creation or not. According to one UFO website, the pictures are a hoax. The pictures were originally released on UFO at Section 51, a website known for doing alien CGI creations. But the website itself claims that it has several NASA video leaks that are legit. 6. Space pods. These pictures were captured by a shuttle mission around Earth's atmosphere. The picture is blurry, but it contains a spherical object that appears to be hovering outside the shuttle as it moves through the vacuum of space around the Earth. The object appears to be stationary but in actuality isn't, because the shuttle was moving at a high speed. So it is believed by some UFO researchers that the object was moving along, tailing the shuttle as it moved in orbit around the Earth. There is an eerie and deadly silence coming out of NASA on this video footage, and it is difficult to find via Google search any reports of what many critics and skeptics believe about it. 5. The orb. This object appears to be some sort of rock or meteor, but it could also be some sort of saucer-like craft drifting about space by the looks of it. The source of the photo isn't in question. It comes from NASA's website. The object has a bluish ring of light or coloration emanating around its top, which may indicate some sort of electronic functioning, but the ring may also be a sheet of ice. At any rate, blue rings on stone are a bit rare, so it appears to be odd in coloration. It's debatable whether the object is either metallic or rock due to the blurry nature of the photo. Some UFO believers have stated their frustration with photos like this from NASA, where the photos are ambiguous or blurry. They believe that some of the agency's more HD quality and conclusive shots of UFOs remain in some secret vault somewhere. 4. The deep space UFOs. This difficult-to-notice series of flying objects or formations appeared on ISS cameras on a day that was supposed to be just another uneventful day in space. The objects appeared to angle in from an upper corner of the camera frame and then jet off. The video of this event was originally aired on Disclosed TV, which estimated that the objects in question were probably miles in length and diameter. The TV station also speculated that the object was some sort of fleet of ET ships, perhaps, not a single sighting. The objects appeared to be just moving lights off in the distance at first, but when camera experts zeroed in on them with magnifying technology, they could see they were silver spheres, similar to what many have seen before. 3. The tailing cylinder. This extremely blurry photo was taken of a cylinder that astronauts had reported to be following the shuttle and the International Space Station on different occasions. Over the years, similar reports have surfaced here and there, causing a few astronauts in recent years to come forward in an effort to divulge their belief that NASA is suppressing its knowledge about the existence of extraterrestrials. Such revelations generally dismiss theories that these foreign objects surround shuttle launches and ISS devices employed on a space mission. We'd certainly hope that NASA's own astronauts would be privy to identified flying objects that are part of the manned missions into space. In fact, it's unlikely they wouldn't be. Notably, this feed was cut just when the object was coming into focus on the ISS feed. 2. Sphere seen by shuttle. This sphere, similar to the others we've seen before, suddenly shifted into view on a shuttle camera frame as it was moving out beyond Earth's atmosphere. The shuttle in this case was the Atlantis, and it was on its STS-37 mission. Some astronauts have reported seeing these objects move alongside the shuttle for some time and then dodge out of their frame of view after a little while. It's interesting that on the video reel, it's hard to discern any exhaust or vapor from the objects, indicating they might be propelled by some sort of engine or booster. Seems like the ETs have some other way to get around. Some theorists and government insiders believe they move their ships via anti-gravity. 1. The distant object. UFO observers watching ISS live feed noticed this strange oblong object on the feed last year, and it soon caused a buzz on the internet after it was announced. In the foreground, we see astronauts Reed Wiseman and Alexander Gerst working on the outside of the ISS station, walking upside down along the station's outside perimeter. In the distance, we can see a cylindrical object that appears to be possibly a disc-like object or cylinder hovering in the black space beyond as if observing the events on the station. This same month, there was also another sighting of a similar sort on the feed, which coincided with ISS shutting down the live feed for a while. Skeptics claim the sighting in this photo might just be a smirch on the lens, but UFO believers think the actions of NASA on this issue belie the fact the agency is hiding the reality of UFOs.